Once a year, in a different city, a luxury hotel goes dark. Not dark in the ordinary sense. The guests are not asked to leave, they are simply not permitted to arrive. The hotel is booked entirely. Its restaurants closed to the public, its entrances secured by private security and, in most cases, local police and military personnel. The airspace above the hotel is restricted. Journalists who attempt to approach are turned away, sometimes escorted from the area entirely. Inside, over 4 days, approximately 130 people gather around conference tables and have conversations that are never recorded, never minuted, never published, and never reported. Among those 130 people, in any given year, you might find sitting heads of state, finance ministers, central bank governors, the chief executives of the largest corporations on earth, defense ministers, intelligence chiefs. When the 4 days are over, they leave the same way they arrived, separately, quietly, without comment. No joint statement is issued, no agenda is published, no record of what was discussed is ever made available to the public whose governments, economies, and media these people control. This is not a conspiracy theory. This meeting has occurred every single year since 1954. It has a name, the Bilderberg Group. And the question is not whether it exists. The question is what happens inside that room and why you were never supposed to know. The Bilderberg Group was founded in 1954 by a Polish political advisor named Josef Rettinger and Prince Bernhard of the Netherlands. The stated purpose was straightforward and, in the context of 1954, not unreasonable. Europe was recovering from World War II. The Cold War was accelerating. Anti-American sentiment in Western Europe was growing, fueled partly by Soviet propaganda, partly by genuine resentment of American economic and military dominance. The fear among Atlantic Alliance leaders was that Western unity was fracturing at precisely the moment when unity was most needed. Rettinger and Prince Bernhard believed the solution was a private forum, completely off the record, where American and European leaders could speak candidly without the constraints of public diplomacy or press scrutiny. The first meeting was held at the Hotel de Bilderberg in Oosterbeek, Netherlands, hence the name. The guest list for that first meeting was curated personally. Invitations went to politicians, industrialists, financiers, and intellectuals, selected not by election or merit in any public sense, but by existing relationships, shared ideological alignment, and perceived influence. The format established in 1954 has never fundamentally changed. No votes are taken, no resolutions are passed, no binding decisions are made, at least not officially. Discussions are held under what is called the Chatham House Rule, meaning participants may use the information they hear, but may not reveal who said what. This is the mechanism that allows complete candor while maintaining complete deniability. The organization has a small permanent secretariat. It has a steering committee that selects invitees each year. It has a chairman. What it does not have, has never had, is any form of public accountability, democratic mandate, or legal obligation to disclose anything it discusses. For the first several decades of its existence, it barely appeared in mainstream media at all. When journalists did write about it, they were frequently dismissed as conspiracy theorists. The irony of that dismissal is difficult to overstate. I want to give you a partial list of people who have attended Bilderberg meetings. Bill Clinton, before he became president. Tony Blair, before he became prime minister. Romano Prodi, before he became president of the European Commission. Herman Van Rompuy, appointed as the first permanent president of the European Council,
within months of his first Bilderberg attendance. This is not a list of people who attended after reaching power. This is a list of people who attended and then rose to the highest offices in their respective governments. Whether that is coincidence or selection, whether Bilderberg predicts leaders or produces them, is a question worth sitting with.
What is discussed at Bilderberg? The official website publishes a general list of topics after each meeting. Recent years have included subjects such as artificial intelligence, geopolitical realignment, energy policy, NATO strategy, and economic outlook. But the topics themselves are less revealing than the architecture of the conversation. Consider what it means when the finance minister of a major Western nation sits informally, no press, no record, no diplomatic protocol, with the chairman of a major central bank, the CEO of a leading defense contractor, and the editor of a newspaper with 40 million readers. No votes are taken, no agreements are signed, but conversations happen, relationships are built, perspectives are aligned. A shared understanding of what is desirable, what is feasible, and what is dangerous begins to form. Not through conspiracy, but through the far more powerful mechanism of consensus among the powerful. When those people return to their offices, their parliaments, their boardrooms, their newsrooms, they carry that consensus with them. They make decisions informed by it. They commission reporting shaped by it. They allocate resources consistent with it. No conspiracy is required. The architecture of the conversation does the work. This is what the political scientist C. Wright Mills described in his 1956 book, the same year Bilderberg held its third meeting, when he wrote about what he called the power elite, a relatively small network of individuals who, by virtue of their institutional positions, make decisions that affect millions of people who have no input into those decisions and no meaningful awareness that they are being made. Bilderberg is not the only institution that fits that description, but it is among the most explicit, most consistent, and most deliberately obscure. Denis Healey, British Chancellor of the Exchequer and one of Bilderberg's founding members, said in a 2001 interview, "To say we were striving for a one-world government is exaggerated, but not wholly unfair." These are the words of a founder.
Here is what I want you to understand about the significance of that quote. Denis Healey was not a fringe figure. He was not a provocateur or a tabloid commentator. He was a senior British statesman, a former defense secretary, a man who shaped British economic policy for a generation. And he acknowledged, casually in a published interview, that the goal of the network he helped found was something that resembled, in his own words, world governance. Not the governance of any nation, not accountable to any electorate. World governance by the people in that room. And the response of the mainstream press to that quote? Almost none. Because many of the people who run the mainstream press have also been in that room. The Bilderberg Group's critics come from across the political spectrum. From the left, the criticism is that it represents unaccountable corporate and financial power shaping democratic governments without democratic input. From the right, the criticism is that it represents an internationalist elite deliberately undermining national sovereignty and independent governance. Both critiques contain something real. What makes Bilderberg genuinely significant beyond the drama of its secrecy is its position at the intersection of several institutions we have already examined in this series. The Federal Reserve's leadership has appeared at Bilderberg meetings. Media executives whose organizations were involved in Operation Mockingbird's era attended Bilderberg in its early years. The architects of the petrodollar system, Henry Kissinger, was a long-standing Bilderberg participant, shaped that system in part through relationships built in exactly this kind of off-record forum. The pattern is not that Bilderberg controls everything. The pattern is that Bilderberg is one node in a network of institutions, relationships, and shared assumptions that collectively shape the world without ever submitting those choices to the people most affected by them. Václav Havel, the Czech dissident and later president, described this network as the hidden sphere of power, decisions made not through visible, accountable processes, but through informal relationships among people who already share fundamental assumptions about how the world should be organized. The names change, the hotels change, the topics on the published agenda change. The architecture remains, and the people whose lives are shaped by what happens in those rooms are never in them. I want to return to that hotel. The armored cars, the restricted airspace, the sign that reads, "Press not permitted." Ask yourself a simple question. If the conversations happening inside that building were genuinely benign, if the decisions being shaped there were truly in the public interest, why would they require this level of secrecy? The Chatham House rule exists for a reason. Off-record candor exists for a reason. But off-record candor about what? If the answer is the same decisions that would be made publicly, transparently, with democratic input, then the secrecy serves no purpose. The secrecy only becomes necessary when what is said in private is different from what would be said in public, when the decisions being shaped are ones that the people affected by them would not accept if they were asked. The Bilderberg Group has been meeting for 70 years. You were never asked. Jekyll Island designed the money system in secret. Operation Mockingbird ensured the media would not fully explain it. The Nixon shock removed the last restraint on that system without public consent. MK Ultra demonstrated what the institutions behind these decisions were willing to do when they believed no one was watching. And the Bilderberg Group shows us the ongoing forum, the living mechanism through which the people who benefit from all of these systems continue to coordinate, continue to align, and continue to make decisions about a world they do not share with the rest of us. Next week, we follow the money one step further to 1974, to a secret agreement between the United States Treasury and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, to the moment when American military power was permanently treated for global dollar dominance, and the price of that deal was paid by every person on earth who buys oil, holds savings, or pays taxes. The petrodollar system is the hidden engine of American global power, and almost nobody who lives inside it understands how it was built or what it costs. That story next week.